One time he locked me in containers with his shipment of kids. There were kids in there that didn't speak English. There were kids that were sick and that were already dying. There were babies. There were babies that were 6 years old, and I'll never forget them just crying, and everybody was just staring at them. Everybody was just staring at each other. Nobody knew whether or not to move.
Wally Carter is not missing. She's alive, and according to some claims, she vanished on purpose. Word on the street is she faked her own disappearance to protect herself. And crazy part? Katt Williams called this type of thing years ago. This is exactly what happens when people start pulling the curtain back on what's really happening in the shadows. Think about it. Dave Chappelle ran off to Africa when he felt the heat, too. But this time around, it's even darker and messier. We're deep in the rabbit hole of the Diddy scandal, a trial that's been shaking the entire industry. Celebs allegedly tied to trafficking rings, secret underground networks, and silencing the people who know too much. And then, boom, the case of Kathy White creeps back into the convo. Now, if you forgot, Kathy White was allegedly Jay-Z's mistress, and according to official records, she died from a sudden brain aneurysm. But not everyone's buying that story. Jaguar Wright and plenty of others who claim to have receipts say it was way more sinister than that. Jaguar said Kathy wasn't just Jay's side chick. She was supposedly acting as a surrogate for Beyoncé and Jay, back when Beyoncé was showing off that infamous baby bump that had folks saying it looked mad fake. Jaguar alleges that Kathy was the real one pregnant with Blue Ivy at the time. And get this, just when Kathy was allegedly about to expose everything, someone came for her. Jaguar claims a forced C-section was done, the baby was taken, and Kathy was taken out right after. Yeah, it sounds wild, but that's the story she's sticking with. Now, whether it's true or not, nobody knows unless some serious proof drops. But here's the kicker. Ally Carter connected Kathy's death directly to Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Diddy. And she's not the only one talking. Hollywood Street King, the same blogger who first spilled the tea about Jay and Kathy's secret affair, went digging himself. He even talked to a retired NYPD detective who worked the case. And guess what? The detective said the whole aneurysm thing was suspicious from the jump. Neighbors heard Kathy screaming before she died, but the cops just swept that detail under the rug like it meant nothing. This ain't just conspiracy talk anymore. This is a story with layers, names, and serious questions that the industry seems way too scared to answer. Hollywood Street King, HSK, even published an article that lit the internet on fire. Until it mysteriously vanished. In that post, they claimed Kathy White had straight up warned Jay-Z she was going to spill everything about their affair unless she got paid. Days later, she was gone. Just like that. No trace. Just another closed case. But according to Ally Carter, Kathy wasn't the only one. She claims Diddy has been tied to multiple suspicious deaths, people who were allegedly about to blow the whistle on his twisted empire. That includes his own baby mama, Kim Porter. Ally didn't hold back. She's been out here dropping bomb after bomb about these so-called freak-offs, underground trafficking scenes, and some seriously disturbing elite parties. She even claimed she saw a former U.S. president at one of Diddy's wild events, allegedly caught up in shady activity involving minors. Yeah, let that sink in. These aren't just wild accusations. They're tied to real names, real people, and real dangers. And that one reveal put a giant target on Ally Carter's back after she linked major names to some of the most twisted scandals out there. Katt Williams himself said the pressure on her got so intense, she had no choice but to vanish. Things got real when the third alleged victim in Diddy's federal case, who many believed was Ally, was set to testify. But when the moment came, she straight up disappeared. No one could find her, prosecutors were stuck, her family had no clue where she went, and even her legal team was left scratching their heads. It was like she vanished into thin air. That's when the theories started flying. Did she get snatched? Was she silenced? Or did she pull a power move, faking her own disappearance just to survive? Right around the time she went ghost, whispers started swirling that she'd been in contact with Katt Williams and Jaguar Wright. Some insiders claimed they knew her exact location and were helping her stay off the grid, and now it's being reported that Ally Carter is alive, just in deep, serious hiding. Word is she's gearing up to break her silence on either YouTube Live or Instagram Live. where she'll finally explain why she made the call to disappear. And honestly, after everything that went down, her decision makes total sense. She wasn't just spilling tea, she was exposing high-powered names and blowing the lid off secrets that could shake up the whole industry. She even claimed her house got raided and she had to stay on the move just to stay safe. Allie wasn't hiding from fame, she was hiding from danger. When you start pointing fingers at a former president and calling out how these elites cover for each other, you don't just ruffle feathers, you put a massive bullseye on your back. And according to Katt Williams, that's exactly why Allie Carter had to vanish. But the real twist? Katt hinted her disappearing act had everything to do with one person, Christina Coram, Diddy's chief of staff. See, behind all the so-called freak-offs, the parties, the substances, the cover-ups, there was an orchestrator. According to multiple lawsuits, Christina wasn't just behind the scenes. She ran the operation. She allegedly hired people, handled the substances, cleaned up the mess, and protected Diddy's name at all costs. And right before Ali disappeared, she reportedly had hard receipts, recordings, messages, everything, tying Christina directly to the chaos. Word is, Ali even left a voice note for a close friend, warning that Christina was planning to flip on her. She claimed Christina was ready to throw her under the bus just to keep the machine running smooth. And not long after, boom, Ali was gone. Christina eventually came out denying all of it, said the accusations were false and were affecting her mental health. But insiders weren't buying the sympathy card, especially since Diddy had already put Christina on a pedestal years ago. He once publicly posted, "Meet Christina Coram, Chief of Staff at Combs Enterprises. Christina keeps everything in my life and business running. She's been my right hand for the last 8 years. Don't know how I'd function without her?" That ain't just a compliment. That's a full-blown endorsement. And when you mix that with witness testimonies calling Christina the gatekeeper of this dark underworld, it's no wonder Ali became a problem that needed to disappear. And it didn't stop there. David James, Diddy's former personal assistant, testified in court and dropped a whole new level of creepy. He said Diddy kept 25 to 30 pill bottles on him at all times, some with Obama's face printed on them. And these weren't vitamins. These were party pills. Ecstasy and other substances allegedly used to fuel the madness at those freak-offs. That court testimony lined up perfectly with what Ali had been screaming about all along: rituals, drugs, secret parties, and a whole system built to keep it quiet. When you lay it all out, it actually makes sense why Allie Carter had to fake her own disappearance. In a game this dirty, when you spill too many secrets, your choices shrink fast. Either you vanish on your own terms, or you risk vanishing for real. And Allie knew that. She wasn't just exposing one man, she was peeling back layers of a whole system. Here's where it gets even crazier. Jaguar Wright claims this entire mess might have been part of a bigger plan. According to her, Jay-Z set up Diddy to take the fall. He lined up Diddy as the acceptable monster, the one they could sacrifice publicly while he sat safe in the shadows. But Allie, she had info that could have dragged Jay straight into the spotlight. If she had made it to the stand and spilled what she knew, it wouldn't just be Diddy on the chopping block. Jay would have been right there with him, and that's exactly why allegedly powers way bigger than Diddy wanted Ali shut down at all costs. Jaguar didn't hold back. She flat out said it. Jay is next! After Diddy goes down, she claims Jay-Z is the next one lined up in this dark domino effect. And if you look at the history, the pattern is wild. Jay's name has allegedly been tied to other fallen figures: Haven, Big L, Game, Dame Dash. And now, Allie Carter. Allie's testimony could have cracked this whole thing wide open. It would have shown just how deep this system really runs, and that's exactly why she wasn't allowed to speak in court. Her silence wasn't coincidence, it was strategy. I mean, ask yourself, how does a key federal witness just go missing like that? No official statement? No police protection? No word from the prosecutors? How does that even happen in a case this massive, one that links entertainment elites to political powerhouses? Simple. The rabbit hole is way deeper than anyone wants to admit. Once you start exposing how the machine really works, your only real option might be to disappear before they make that decision for you. Katt Williams warned us. Dave Chappelle stepped away when things got too real, and now Allie Carter's move is looking like part of that same survival playbook. So now it's your turn. What do you think is really going on? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this story is still unfolding as we speak. And if you're locked in for the truth, the drama, and everything they don't want you to hear, hit that like, smash subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to know what's really happening out here.